There's a doctor in Denver making $340,000 a year. She drives a leased Range Rover. Her kids go to private school. Her mortgage is $5,800 a month. On paper, she's rich. In reality, she can't come up with $3,000 without dipping into a credit line. This isn't rare. A 2025 Goldman Sachs report found that 41% of Americans earning between $300,000 and $500,000 live paycheck to paycheck. Read that again. 4 out of 10 people making $500,000 a year feel like they have zero cushion. We're taught that income solves money problems. Hit 6 figures, the stress disappears. Cross $200,000, you're set. The data says something completely different. This is called the high-income poverty trap. People earn more, spend more, save nothing, and wake up at 55 wondering where it all went. The trap doesn't care what you make. It only cares what you keep. Today I'm going to show you exactly how this trap works, why it catches smart, educated people, and how to know if you're already in it. The numbers are counterintuitive. A PYMNTS study found 48% of people earning $100,000 or more feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. Bank of America defines that as spending over 95% of income on necessities, and roughly 20% of households earning over $150,000 fit that definition. These aren't people who can't do math. They're doctors, lawyers, engineers who understand compound interest perfectly. The trap runs on psychology, not arithmetic. Here's the mechanism. When income rises, spending rises with it, dollar for dollar, sometimes faster. This is lifestyle inflation, and it moves so gradually nobody notices. The $15 lunch becomes $25. The Civic becomes the Range Rover. The apartment becomes a house with a guest room nobody uses. Every single upgrade feels reasonable in isolation. You earned it. You can afford it. But the upgrades stack while savings stay flat. And once a luxury becomes routine, going back feels like punishment instead of just normal. Now compare that to how actual millionaires live. The Millionaire Next Door research found most millionaires don't look like millionaires at all. A 2025 Empower study found over 62% of everyday millionaires still shop deals and avoid extravagant spending, even after crossing 7 figures. About 60% live in homes worth under $500,000. Warren Buffett still lives in the house he bought in 1958. The authors of that research built a simple formula. Take your age, multiply it by your pre-tax income, divide by 10. That's roughly what your net worth should be. A 50-year-old earning $250,000 should be sitting on $1.25 million. Most high earners fail this test badly because spending habits determine wealth, not income, and the goalposts keep moving. Charles Schwab's 2025 Wealth Survey found Americans think you need $2.3 million to be wealthy and $839,000 just to feel comfortable. Meanwhile, the median U.S. household net worth is around $193,000. So someone earning $400,000 with a $300,000 net worth doesn't feel rich. They feel behind. 63% of people in that Schwab survey said it feels like it takes more money to be wealthy than it did last year. The finish line keeps sprinting away from you. Debt tells the same story. High-income households earning over $100,000 carried an average credit card balance of $12,760 in 2025. The top 20% of earners hold 35% of all U.S. credit card debt. That sounds backwards until you see the difference. Lower-income households use credit to survive. Higher-income households use credit to maintain, financing a lifestyle that technically fits their paycheck but leaves zero margin for anything going wrong. Fixed costs make it worse. Someone earning $80,000 might spend $2,000 a month on housing. Someone earning $300,000 might spend $8,000. Same percentage of income, same lack of flexibility, just bigger numbers. Add private school, a second car payment, a vacation home nobody has time to use. These stop being expenses and start acting like fixed costs, because reversing them feels like admitting failure. Pulling a kid out of private school feels impossible. Selling the vacation property feels like giving up. The savings rate confirms it. The U.S. personal savings rate sat at 3.6% in late 2025. Higher earners save more in raw dollars, but the rate barely improves because spending scales right alongside the paycheck. Someone earning $75,000, saving 4%, banks $3,000 a year. Someone earning $300,000, saving 4%, banks $12,000, 4 times the dollars, but just as exposed if something goes wrong. Compare that to millionaires, who typically invest at least 15% of income before paying for anything else. They pay themselves first. That gap between 4% and 15%, compounded over decades, is the entire difference between a modest cushion and generational wealth. Social comparison speeds the whole thing up. That same Goldman Sachs report named Keeping Up with the Joneses directly as a driver of paycheck-to-paycheck living among high earners. Except now the comparison isn't the neighbor. It's a feed curated to show everyone's best moment, filtered from people who might be more leveraged than you are. And it shows up in the small stuff. Empower data found food delivery spending rose over 10% year over year. Streaming spending rose 12.5%. Rideshare spending rose almost 8%. None of these individually register, but $179 a month on delivery is over $2,100 a year. Stack that with streaming, subscriptions, ride shares, and it quietly becomes real money that vanishes without building anything. So what actually breaks the cycle? Not more income. Automation. The math is blunt. Earn $300,000 and save 30%. You bank $90,000 a year. At 7% average returns over 20 years, that's roughly $4 million. Earn the same $300,000 and save 5%, you bank $15,000 a year. Same timeline, same returns, about $650,000. The difference between those two people is $3.35 million, and neither of them changed their income once. The doctor in Denver could save $80,000 a year if she chose to. She earns enough. She just spends enough to prevent it. That's not a judgment. It's a choice most people never consciously make. Expenses accumulate one reasonable decision at a time until the entire paycheck is spoken for before it arrives. Breaking the trap starts with one audit. Go through every recurring expense and ask if it still delivers value proportional to its cost. Usually the honest answer is no. Then flip the order. Stop saving what's left after spending and start spending what's left after saving. Automate the investment first. You'll still live well, you'll just live slightly less large. And in 20 years, the gap between you and everyone who didn't will be measured in millions, not dollars. Income was never the problem. It was never going to be the answer either. The only thing that has ever built wealth is deciding, on purpose, what portion of the money you keep.